athlete. Coast to coast we going, so to come up you can see. From the court to the field to the track we can meet. Exclusive, straight behind the scenes. This the athlete. Athletic. I'm jumping
coast to coast for almost an uncontested layup, number 5. Missed a tough layup, but you hate to see a guy as a coach go the length of the floor without getting someone stopping the ball.
Yeah, that's one of the P's. If a guy can go coast, like you said, coast from one end to the other end, and no one, I mean, everyone's scrambling to find their man. The first thing you stop ball, then you scramble to find your man.
Everyone that's played organized ball knows the first rule of transition is stopping the ball. Someone's got to stop the ball. You got to talk. You got to talk about it and get someone stopping.
Young pull up, no good. The big guy, Jonah. What's his first name? Is it Jonah? Can't make it. Rebound comes to Central Bulldogs. Here comes Rose. Shiloh out of control. They're going to say charge. So ball will go to Wisconsin Lutheran.
I would love to have another angle on that charge. Euro step looked good. Man was in position for a charge. One of those 50-50 calls.
You never know, like, depending on which referee and what they see and how they call it. Good defense, good pressure defense by the Bulldogs. Hampton trying to get in the middle. Good help. Kick out for the 3, no good. Rhodes wants to run.
He's definitely looking to push the tempo.
There's going to be a foul on the floor. We're going to stay here. So foul was on the floor. Good ball movement. Wide open is 11-11. He can't make it. Shot. Follows his rebound. Passes 14. Ups, and they're going to call a foul. 2 shots for 14.
Ball's moving well for West Allis. Ball's moving from side to side. They got a wide open look. So kid misses a shot, comes back, gets a board, and makes a nice pass.
Javion Jones will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Javion Jones checked in, and he looks to be an animal on that glass. He's already got himself a few offensive rebounds.
Second shot's good, so now it's 17-16. Wisconsin Lutheran up 1. One thing about Wisconsin, Wisco, they're going to run their sets. Good way to get to the basket. Couldn't finish it. Rebound comes to Joshi. They're not going to force shots. They're going to make sure they get a good shot. No one stopped ball again until he got to Josh. He got to the middle. And one thing I'm noticing about West Allis Central, they're long. Guys like 14, like you said, he wants to eat the rim. Shiloh, another person who wants the offensive rebound.
Very good size and athleticism. They got a lot of guys taking the ball out of the rim, taking the ball off the rim, and taking it the length of the floor, and getting there pretty easily, pretty unmolested. So that'll be a point of emphasis early for Wisconsin Lutheran.
18-19, 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Rose kicks it out. Thought about the 3. Goes in. Good block. Stays with it.
Good block, good board by number 11. Good put back offensive glass. Deshaun Jackson for a quick 2. Number 2 with a quick driving bucket,
Tyrese England. That's the kid that's been pretty much on fire the last couple games.
Got to the basket with ease there. Great finish, good little butter roll.
Ball moving by the Bulldogs, trying to get it into Nige. Double team. He finds the open man, Rose. Rose talked about 3. One that extra pass, knockdown 3 by Deshaun Jackson.
That's how you draw it up. Double team comes from the weak side. You get a swing. Swing to the weak side for a lay.
Good move by
For
Young.
open three.
By the freshman. He's very patient to be a freshman, taking his time, walked his defender to sleep before he decided to attack. So I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from the young guy.
Something you typically don't see out of underclassmen is poise. He looks to be really poised out there, and a lot of people talk about a guy that you can't speed up. He seems to be playing at his own pace. He looks very comfortable out there for a freshman. I'm impressed early.
Yeah, and I'm going on record and saying that from the Athlete Live, this kid can't be 6'3". He just walked over to the bench. He didn't look that much taller than the guy they have listed on their own, who just went out Hampton. They list him at 5'9". I think that's generous for the small guy. Tofree in the post. Kicks it out, 12. Back to number 24, Joe St. Louis.
West Allis Central's really got some good passing on the perimeter, some good passing in the interior.
Three-point basket by number 12.
Tempo's picking up.
Isaiah Hoff. He knocks it down, makes it 25-26. Wisconsin Lutheran up 1. Good flash by Tofree.
I can tell you, Tofree, his favorite spot on the court. I see that already. That's his go zone there. They're gonna have to keep him away from there.
Now the game's picking a nice shot right there, and here goes Tofree. He's been the reason why this team is in it in this first half. His play offensively. Another good ball move. Kick out to 12. He knocks that down. Grayson Pritzel for 3.
He flashes 3 fingers to the crowd, let them know I'm feeling good.
3-point shot by Therese England, no good. 14 with the rebound. Javion Jones, and here comes the Bulldogs. Rose, Tofree's feeling it. Knocks down to 3, and Wisconsin Lutheran wants to take 3. It's been the Tofree show here at West Allis Central. They take a 33-28 lead, 30-second timeout so far. You said the kid Tofree inside, outside. That time he shows 3-point range.
Yeah, he's really showing his entire arsenal right now, man, and he comes down after hitting a big 3 and really showing some emotion. And that's what you like to see at this level, at any level, man. The kid's into it. He's playing hard. He's playing the right way. West Allis Central is really moving the ball and swinging the ball and really getting some good looks. Offense looks good early. I can tell you that the coach will be happy with what he's seeing.
And there's, right now you're looking at right there at Coach Milanchik as he talked to his troops about what's going on. He probably wants those guys to keep up that pace and continue to fight where Coach Walsh or Wisco, he needs to settle his team down. Once again, this is a young team for Wisconsin Lutheran. They have 4 freshmen on this roster that play a lot of minutes, led by one senior, and that's the Tyrese England. So a lot of expectations for a young team that's ranked right now in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Mark Stewart has his team ranked 9th in the area.
Okay. You can see why, like I said, a lot of size and athleticism.
Wisconsin is moving the ball around. Good smooth ball moving, a little short by number 12, Isaiah. Shallow. Tofree thought about it, putting the ball on the ground. Rhodes wide open. He may have got away with a travel.
Oh, he shuffled those feet. He got a little happy feet there.
Tried to get the ball in the post. So the ball will stay with the Bulldogs. 4:35 here remaining in the first half. Wisconsin Lutheran down by 5, 33-28. And it's been a great play of Tofree in this first half. Tofree, deep 3 from downtown, no good. Rebound for Wisco. England, Tyrese, swings it to 5. 5 is Glenn. Glenn, Tyrese, three-pointer. Knocks down to 3, cuts the lead to 2, 31-33.
Tyrese England just really catching the ball, being ready to shoot. Caught the ball, is right into his shooting motion. He had his mind made up. He was open. He took a good open 3 and knocked it down.
Shallow working. That's a good move. Got to finish that. Rhodes, wide open three-pointer. Out. Rebound comes to 24. Sorry, that's Tofree with the offensive rebound. He'll go to line to shoot 2 free throws. That's one thing when I talked to Coach Walls, he was worried about the length in the offensive rebounding by Wisconsin, by West Allis Central. That's what kept them in the game when they played these guys at Wisconsin Lutheran. It was the offensive rebounds by the Bulldogs that kept them in the game. And you see it tonight. This is a team that's relentless. They're on the boards.
Wisconsin Lutheran is definitely going to have to shore up that offensive glass going into the second half. That possession alone, they gave up 3 offensive rebounds, and that's a good way to get down a lot of points.
So second free throw up and good.
No good.
Excuse me, no good. So 34-31, 3:30 left here in the first half. Young at the top. Tofree's on him.
West Allis Central showing a zone. Be interesting to see how they rebound, how they hit the glass out of this zone. Teams usually struggle to rebound the ball.
Prentice does a straight line 3, no good. Rebound comes. Bulldogs. Rose wants to push it wide open. Tofree puts the ball down. Good swing. Shiloh goes up and good. Good offensive possession right there for the Bulldogs.
They're really dominating transition. They're coming down. They're getting quick looks. They're having their way in the middle.
Swinging the ball around. Wisconsin want to run some offense here. 36-35. Want to get a good shot. This is when you plan the zone. Make that zone go side to side. Move the zone. Tyrese, good shot, in and out. Rebound comes Rose. Rose wants to run. Rose, tough pass. May have been knocked out of bounds by Wisco. Ball will stay with the Bulldogs.
He went high and he should have went low. Could have utilized a great bounce pass there. Had his man backdoor for a layup.
I want to get your take on this. You play a little bit in the post and a very versatile player. I've had this conversation with Coach Winston of Brown Deer and Sanjay Adele from Brown Deer. One of the toughest things, I think, for high school kids and young college kids is feeding the post. They do not have – basketball players have a hard time making the correct post-entry pass. I've seen that in so many games we cover. That's one of the hardest things to do because good shot right there by Tyrese. When the post player is open and you miss him and he works so hard, as you probably did in the past, and they miss you, how does that make you feel as a big? That's one of the hardest. I don't think teams take time to do post-entry pass.
Well, I'll tell you, post-entry pass is just one of the parts of fundamentals that really is probably lost and not worked on enough, and people don't maybe see the importance of it until a lot of times I know guys work on it after you really struggle with it in the game. Mm-hmm. But it's really something that should be worked on from the get-go. And spending some time in the post, obviously very frustrating to have to work hard and get position and to be in a position where you think you're better than the guy and can score and get your team some easy buckets in a situation probably where your team needed some inside buckets and then not get the ball and then maybe not get as a quality shot as you thought you could have got. So obviously getting that ball in the post is huge and important, but it's just about, it's either bounce pass or a high pass, but you got to know how to feed the post. Yeah. And the bigs will appreciate it because I know if you miss me a few times in the post, you might not get that great screen or you might not get that look. So basketball has a way of working itself out. So that's definitely, I won't say a lost art, but something that needs to be pounded in the fundamental department a little bit more. Yeah. And you got guys like Jose Winston who I'm sure will teach that. I think if you play at a certain level or get a chance to watch a lot of basketball, I think that's something, if you ever get a chance to watch a team practice, it'll tell you a lot about the coach. It'll tell you a lot about the knowledge of the game. If guys are doing a lot of defensive drills and a lot of swing and a lot of shell and a lot of, fundamental things, catching the ball and being in triple threat, you know what they're looking to do and they're really trying to build something special.
Yeah, Tofree for 3, still too hard. But, yeah, I just think we come to these high school games, and I feel good move by Young. He goes up for 2 shots. I feel for the post players who work so hard and they just don't get a good pass or a silly turnover because you didn't see if that man was sealed yet. You make a pass, and they do this. As a defender guarding bigger guys, I like when you don't want to be filled. So you want the offensive player wants to feel where you are.
Definitely.
So if you're not on him, they can't feel you, then he can't make that pass. If he makes that pass, you can kind of slide around him. So seeing post-entry pass the last year now covering high school basketball and some college, I see that as like you shouldn't have 4 or 5 turnovers off post entry pass.
I mean, and the post guys also have a job to do. If I
Yes.
throw you the ball, if I'm on the perimeter and I throw you the ball and I give you a good pass, it's your job to hold the defender off. I don't want the turnover.
Yeah.
So if I give you a good pass, I expect you to hold your position, catch the ball like a man, and be ready at basketball. So a little bit of both sides, but it's tough sometimes playing the inside position because you have to rely on someone to get you the ball.
Yep.
On the perimeter, a lot of times you had the ball in your hands, and like you said, I played a versatile position. I played inside and outside. And I tell the guys, for one, playing inside, sometimes when you play on the perimeter, you don't even get touched for the game. You playing it inside, you're getting a lot of contact. So I always tell perimeter guys, you guys have it easy. But again, when you play the perimeter, you don't have to go through anyone to get the ball. So it's a little easier to score and get going. So
it's a lot of appreciation for guys like yourself.
I mean, the coach. Yeah.
And we're going to have halftime. Joy, he's going to catch up with the winning coach, which is. So 12 seconds. 12 seconds remaining here in the first half. Make sure you put that bottom like this. You're going to come out only like this. So, halftime here, Wisconsin Lutheran. So we'll have Joe catch up with Coach Malanchik at halftime to talk about what he thought, how his team played.
Up defensively. Got to tighten up defensively. I thought offensively we were pretty patient getting the ball where we needed to get to. Without Jaquanis and Shiloh starting, I thought we handled it well. Those guys came in without doing too much. Going in the second half, we had to tighten up defensively, get to their shooters.
Definitely. What did you see that you liked in the first half?
Just a ball movement. I thought we were moving the ball well. I thought the guys were taking good shots, and our activity. I thought Day played really good, rebounding the basketball. I thought we attacked the glass pretty well.
Yeah, I thought the ball move was excellent. Coach, good luck in the second half.
I appreciate it.
Definitely.
Thank you. Yep.
All right.
Oh, yeah, right. Going back to Craig. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, story there, Joy.
Yeah, we got to work on that.
So first half right there, Wisconsin Lutheran down 3, 38-35 here in the first half. We'll take a break, and we'll be back. You're locked into the Athlete Streaming Network. And welcome back to the Athlete Streaming Network here at West Allis Central, where West Allis Centrals are up 38-35 as they take on Wisconsin Lutheran. Before we get to the second half started, we talked about off air how inspirational and how a role model and how we looked up to a guy number 24-8, whichever one, fro, no fro, however you want to, your Kobe, your version of Kobe. I think for me, my first impression of my first story about Kobe Bryant was in high school. I heard about this 17-year-old guy was taking brandy to prom. Yeah. So that was my first impression of Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, definitely.
A basketball player, and this is when Brandy was a super. She was the superstar.
She was it in the R&B world,
right,
for sure.
She was, she crossed over, so she was pop.
Yeah.
And she was R&B, but it was this 17-year-old high school basketball player took Brandy to prom. So that was huge. That was my first introduction of Kobe Bryant.
I mean, Kobe really made Lower Merion a household name. I mean, at that age, coming out of Philly, you know, Lower Merion, I knew nothing about it, but everyone know what Lower Merion was. And that's a time where coming out of high school wasn't as prevalent as it was at the time. So he was one of the first guys to come out and really just crush that lane. So heard a lot about him. So really just got to, like I was telling you off air, really got a chance to follow him and really see his growth over the years. And just a tragic story. But, again, I say guys in our generation, guys our age, we really kind of grew up with him. He was 41. Absolutely. I'm 37. So, you know, kind of saw yourself in him. Obviously, we were in the NBA, but just the growth of how he developed as a person. And now both of us being parents kind of followed and kind of married him. So just really tough on so many levels as a parent, as a fan, as a human being, just overall, you know, just tough for everyone. And
we'll probably throughout our telecast this year as we continue to do the Athlete Streaming Live, we'll probably share stories about a guy, number 824, Kobe Bryant, how he affected the basketball community. And it's only going to be a joyful story because, yes, it was a tragic that happened, but we want to celebrate the life of Kobe Bryant and also his young daughter who was on her way to having a successful, look like a basketball career.
Absolutely.
Back to the action now, if we can transition until as we get second half action up and going, Wisconsin Lutheran will have the ball first in the second half. And
Craig, you get used to going to nice pull-up jump shot by number 5, Jordan Glenn. You get used to going to college and pro events, and they spend a little bit more time, commercial breaks, yada, 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 high school. These games are getting right going. Guys got to get to school tomorrow. Guys got things to do tonight. Parents got to get home and everything, so they're coming out of halftime, and they're getting right to it.
Yeah, you usually have like a 15-minute. If it's the Marquette, you get 15 minutes at halftime. College games, NBA the same thing. But yeah, high school they get right to it. And, back to the action. 40-38. West Allis Central up 2. And we can see in that first half, standouts was Nigel Tofree. He had 12 points in that first half, and looking to add on to that. And as you see now, those two guys who set out that first half, Rhodes and Bowles, they're starting here in the second half.
So they served their discipline for a half. Hopefully whatever cost them to come off the bench, hopefully these guys learn a lesson. It's not an issue that persists during the year. Be interesting to see how Wisconsin Lutheran handles that transition. That was a point of emphasis, I believe, for the Wisconsin Lutheran locker room. Really gave up a lot of points in transition, so we'll see how they do with that.
So high school basketball in full effect. Now, as we turn the calendar page, and next month we go into February, we're starting to look at seedings and regionals and where teams are going to end up playing and who has home games. The way the Athletic Wisconsin Board has changed over the years. This year, the last couple of years now, the regional games are played with the higher seed. So you home court advantage. So not too many upsets really happen. The skyhook by Nigel Tofree.
A little throwback.
Wow.
Love to talk to that kid and see who taught him that move or see where he learned that move. You don't see that very often.
No. So great move by the young fella right there.
The kid is well-rounded. We've seen him in the mid-range. We've seen him in the post. We've seen him from the three-point line. Kid looks very confident out there.
And he knocks down, completes the three-point play, makes it 43-40 here in the second half. 16:08 remaining. Bulldogs up on top against Wisco. A lot of time left. And, again, the fact that Wisconsin Lutheran is so young, but yet they play so poised. And that guy right there, good block by Naj Tofri. He's playing both ends of the floor.
That's another thing that I think gets forgotten. The defensive end, man. You know, at this level, you got to be dominant. If you're looking to play at the next level or continue your career, you got to be dominant on both ends, not just offense. It's about defense as well, because if you get to the next level or you have ambitions to do that, you're going to run into guys your size and your athleticism. So you got to be able to get out on the floor, especially when you're talking about playing at the college level.
Tough moves by Rose. He misses, but Tofri's there for the cleanup, 45-40. Here comes, Tofri with the block on number 2, Tyrese England. I like this kid so far is because he's giving us maximum effort on both sides. He's just not thinking offense. Got 2 block shots, a couple steals. So Tofri, only a sophomore, well-rounded at 6'5", still have room to grow and fill out.
Very impressed with this game so far. Like I said, at a sophomore level, you typically don't see such a well-rounded game at this point. So very impressed with him early on.
Free throw's no good. Second free throw's no good. Here comes Shiloh. Moving the ball around. Tofri attacking the lane. Number 12 open for a three-pointer. That shot's no good by Grayson Pritzel. Offensive rebound. And Grayson's going to be caught with the foul. Beating the post. No good. Rebound comes to Bowles. Bowles kicks out to Grayson. Grayson wants to attack. Passes a little kick ball by Wisconsin. The ball will stay with the Bulldogs. So side out of bounds. No, underneath. Rhodes in the corner, working on Jordan. Tough pass stolen by Redfletch. Spin move, tough layup. He gets that to fall.
Nice finish.
Nice move, making it 45-43. Wisconsin Lutheran only down 2. Shiloh working up top. Crossover. Good give and go. Nice feed.
West Allis Central continues the great ball movement. They're really getting some good looks.
And now number 11, on the paper they have him down as Deshaun Jackson. The announcer just called him Day-Day, so I'm calling him Day-Day from now on. Toe-free, nice switch. Grayson thought about it. Pass it to Day-Day. Day-Day swings it. Good ball move. Grayson inside, outside, rolls, three-pointer, corner, no, in and out.
Just really getting great looks on this end of the court. West Allis Central, 7 guys, 7 passes, 8 passes in there, and they're getting wide open looks every time.
So it's a loose ball foul.
Looking at these stats, Shiloh is a leading scorer for West Allis Central. Coming off that bench, missing the start of the game, he hasn't found his way into the game so much yet. And Najee Tofri doesn't mind him. I see he didn't mind him coming off the bench. He's really picked up in his absence, in his early absence.
But that's good. You got guys that can step in when your quote-unquote senior or star player is not having great games. That's what make you. This team, this West Allis Central team, made it to state last year, lost in that first round. But this is a team that has state. These guys, a lot of these guys played on that team last year. A lot of these guys played major minutes. They're missing the player of the conference. He graduated and moved on. But pretty much this is basically the same team that made it to state last year, minus the star player. But you got guys like Tofri, who was a freshman on that team, who started. Bowles was another 6'7" guy who started. So these guys have experience.
And you know, like I know, anytime you can get that postseason experience, man, that's super, super valuable. And it's probably very easy to see the coach, for the coach to see these guys, the development that they have from last year to this year.
Turnover right there, miscommunication with Bowles and Grayson as they turn the ball over to go to Wisconsin Lutheran. And I think that tournament experience really shows up in February and March for this team. I hate to say it, for high school players, maybe this is a long season. I was talking to Coach Walls for Wisco. It's a long season for these guys, not in the game preparation, but now they're practicing every day.
Definitely.
And so it's different. AAU basketball, you may play 3 or 4 games, travel right there by Tofri. You may play 3 or 4 games, but you may also have a week off before you play another game or so.
Absolutely.
High school basketball is a grind from October until, at least the end of February, every day basketball.
Practice right after school, games on Friday, games on Tuesday, traveling to the games, bus rides, long bus rides, waiting on your parents.
Teams working out. Now some teams are hitting the weight room once a week, high school players. And so it's especially for young bodies, 14, 15, 16, they're not conditioned yet.
Right. And I guess I'm a little on the fence about how much these young kids play these days. Obviously, when we were coming up, we played a lot of AAU on the road, a lot of basketball. But I think that these kids get a little overexposed early in their careers, and I think some of them sometimes wear down. I think I'll caution if my son chooses to play basketball about how much he plays coming up because, if you're going to play for the long haul, there's going to be no shortage of basketball.
Right. A good ball movement, pass, good swing. Probably was tough pass to handle.
Something I said on one of the last telecasts is I hope that teams like Golden State and guys like LeBron really influence the game to be played the right way. It just, like I said, looking at this team, they're making a lot of the right pass. They're really moving the ball. They're really playing an unselfish brand of basketball. You just love to see the game played that way.
And Jovan Jones has been cleaning up the glass tonight. He's probably one of the glue guys for this team. He's everywhere. Good pass by England to number
Great
two
step
wrestlers.
through. Great step through. Number two, Tyrese England, man, he really can see his experience. He looks out there, looks very comfortable, and really get into his spots and make some nice plays.
52-45, 11:35 remaining here in the second half. Bulldogs with a 7-point lead over Wisco. Tough. This is a game that Wisco Westside Central has to have because you don't want to go down 2 games in conference to a team you played twice already. This is the second time you played them. It almost takes you out the running of getting a piece of the conference championship if you're able to win out.
A lot of terms that kind of come back to me as I do these games, but you really got to protect your home court.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you may lose some games on the road, but you got to do a great job protecting your home floor, and that's what they look like they came out to do tonight. Again, coming off I think the game, they lost that game by 7 points at Wisconsin Lutheran. So, again, they want to come out and win this game tonight.
Roach goes up. He's fouled on his way to the basket. So, on the floor, so the ball will be taken out of bounds.
Something we talked about before, I'm noticing these guys all have the same shoes on, man.
Yes.
And again, that's got some team unity, man. And I can tell by the way they're playing. Looks like these guys play for one another and they like one another, and that's that's evident with their shoes.
And George, the fact that you pointed that out, that's one of the things I always harp on. Like, what shoes? I'm still pretty upset about the Dominican thing. We did the Dominican game.
I didn't forget about that.
We did the St. Catherine's Dominican game last week, and I was mind-boggled how every player on that team still at this point where it was January do not have on the Giannis's.
They obviously weren't listening to our telecast.
They obviously did not listen to it.
You think they would have got on that right away. Hopefully if those guys are able to make it upstate and do that thing, they'll get that together. You definitely want to have the Greek Freaks on. You got to be representing the hometown MVP, the reigning MVP, and hopefully the two-time MVP.
And this is another since we have a break in action. One of the coolest things I've seen since the Kobe Bryant passing was the NBA teams taking the 24 seconds violation, the 8-second violation, and the Detroit Pistons wearing 24 and 8 jerseys, warm-ups.
It's just amazing how quick they're able to put that together.
Right.
The creativity of the 24-second violation and the 8-second violation. And obviously the 8-second violation is something that was just changed 4 or 5 years ago. So for them to think of that so quickly is amazing. Obviously, we talked about the basketball community in Milwaukee being so strong, but the NBA community, the fraternity of the NBA is like none other, and they really, really protect one another and really take care of one another. So you can obviously see the pour out of emotions coming from the NBA guys.
Absolutely, and that's just like we say, we get to reflect and look back at a icon. No way to put it. Oh, tough foul right there. Ball was to go to line shooting too. But yeah, so this is more. I think this is more than just a basketball loss. This was a loss for the world. Like how global Kobe Bryant was from the standpoint. He's just as probably even bigger over in China.
Global icon.
Which is the biggest. I mean, China has the most population in one city. Like, how big that city is. That country is, that city.
And again, so many things to talk about, but Kobe is a guy who really opened up that entire market for the NBA guys. Now you look at a lot of guys who, a guy that's from here, Carl Landry, had a shoe deal from there, and guys getting very lucrative deals in China. So he really opened up that market for the NBA. And obviously, NBA's working on becoming a global brand, and Kobe was an ambassador for that for a long time. But again, I mean, you just can't say enough about that. But something that I've kind of been, obviously a very sad situation, but something I've been thinking about since his passing is, just the Mamba mentality, man. When you leave this world, whenever we have to leave this world, whenever our number is called, man, you just hope that you can leave a legacy like Kobe Bryant left. Everything he stood for, everything he represented. Just really just how you want to leave this earth if you have to leave it, man. Just a great legacy he left.
Absolutely, and then that Mamba mentality was something that, to me, one of his. This is the bright side when we talk about Kobe. I always equate that Mamba mentality to that Nike commercial he came out.
Classic.
More.
Yeah.
When he had all the athletes feel like I forgot who was all in it, but it was like, do more.
Yeah.
It was. That was probably one of my favorite Kobe commercials. That one in the LeBron James Muffet and Kobe Bryant Muffet was like, but that do more. What do you want me to do? To do more.
I think they did a great job of. Nike's just a great brand. I think they do a great job, especially for the culture. But they do a great job of representing and showing who people are.
Oh yeah.
And I think they had a chance to really capture his personality and really capture what he was all about. And again, I think words that are synonymous with Kobe Bryant. Obviously, he was an MVP and he was a champion. Obviously, a great parent. But when I think of Kobe Bryant, I think of a tireless work ethic.
Good move right there by Rhodes.
I think something that's very rare is the combination of a guy with a lot of God-given ability and then one of the highest work ethics we've ever seen. So typically you get a guy with great God-given ability and he might not be a hard worker.
Right.
And then typically you have guys that are really hard workers that may not have a lot of God-given ability. So for Kobe to put all that together and really have one of the best work ethics the game has ever seen is just a rare combination. And I mean, so many stories will come out about Kobe Bryant now that that he's passed because he seemed to be a pretty private guy during his playing career.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
as he after his career, he seemed to open up a little bit more. But I'm sure so many great stories will come out. I saw something on the internet about Gilbert Arenas that he posted today, and he said that and this just exemplifies who Kobe was. Gilbert Arenas is a guy who was a really great player, scored 60 points on Kobe Bryant in the Staples Center on a Sunday afternoon. And Gilbert Arenas is a really funny guy on the internet these days. And he said Kobe told him straight up, you're wasting your time being an idiot on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Really try to find something to focus your life on. And so to tell a guy that, I thought that was pretty amazing. And that really, didn't surprise me that would come from Kobe's mouth.
Right, and I think I heard the story on that too. And I think Gilbert Arenas, Kobe told Gilbert Arenas he has so much to teach. He has so much knowledge that he needs to share.
Yep.
And right, any NBA guy has knowledge, but a guy who, when you make it to NBA and you did the certain things that Gilbert Arenas was able to do at that high of a level, and especially being a second-round draft pick, not being like a known commodity, but making yourself to a star, he has so much to give to that player. So I actually agree with Kobe 100,000%.
The hibachi grill, one of the best scorers to ever touch a basketball, man. Really, really tough.
So here, 55-54, we have ourselves a close game here as Wisconsin Lutheran has cut it to 1. Toe-free, two-man game with Shiloh. He wants to Rhodes at the top. Rhodes working. Toe-free going baseline. Trying to muscle his way inside. Tough shot off the glass. That goes.
It's a big-time move. I'll tell you that West Allis Central needs to find more Topher. He had it going in the first half. Hasn't really seen too many touches in the second half, and if they want to continue in winning this game and to win this game, I think they need to get him some touches.
This is when Rhodes, the point guard for West Allis Central, Rhodes or Darius Cunningham you need to find your hot guy. And right now your hot guy is, like you said, Nigel Toe-free.
And let's see if they look for him here.
He seems to be unselfish. Day goes up. It's going to be caught probably with blocking on Prentice Young. So he'll go to line and shoot 2. And those calls for high school is easy to make now just because there's no line, but when you're underneath the basket, you know that's going to be a blocking call. That's a no-brainer
So,
right
Craig, I asked in the first half that I wish I had a better angle on one of those calls, and there we got it. And the refs actually had conflicting calls. One who had a worse angle actually called he was ready to call a charge, and the one that had a better angle called a block. So, again, I've said it before. I think the charge call is something that's a little out of control. And I'm glad they put that circle in. And again, we talked about the circle. Put it at the high school level.
They should be at the high school level. It's so easy. I mean, the only reason I knew that was a blocking because the kid was underneath the basket.
Yep.
Literally. Otherwise, that's a tough call for a person to make without those rules, without that something there to kind of figure out where it is. Good steal right there by the Bulldogs. Day-Day's going all the way. Swing it.
Tolfree with a touch on that low block. Let's see what he does with it. Good swing out of the post.
Rhodes playing with up top against Glenn. Glenn to Shiloh. Shiloh goes in. He loses the ball, and that's going to stay with the Bulldogs. So 7-19, 57-54. West Allis Central on top with plenty of time. Out of bounds. Almost 5-second call.
Close to a 5-second violation there.
And that's right, I'm talking about posts. We had Tolfree pretty much had Prince buried underneath the basket. Rose, Tolfree, top, three-point shot, no good. Shiloh working inside. It's going to be a push against Wisconsin Lutheran. So that's only the 15th foul against Wisconsin Lutheran. Grayson, it seems like the West Side Central's having a hard time getting that ball and play underneath.
I predict the 5-second call coming up soon. I think they let him get pretty close these last couple times.
Another three-point by Rose. Rose knocks down the three, extending the lead to 6, 60-54, 6:45 remaining here in the second half.
I mean, if I could point out something that's been a key to West Allis Central's success so far, it's just their ball movement, man. Their swings is impressive for a high school team. You typically don't get that many looks and that many swings from a high school team.
Tyrese.
Easy call, pushing it back.
Yeah.
Just gave that up on the other end. He goes down and does it himself. One of the easiest calls, Dwight Howard is a guy who made that call famous. Two-hand pushing the back. Right. The ref is calling it 100% of the time.
And it's funny that you said that because when Dwight Howard does it, you push the guys in the back, and he goes up and do a two-hand slam. Like, come on, you got that rebound because it was an obvious push in the back.
And it's something he did all the time, two-hand pushing the back, and then he looks at the ref and say, what did I do? You pushed him with two hands in the back.
Shot off by Tyrese. Here comes the Bulldogs. Rose at the top, working. Grayson. Flash by Tolfree. That's his shot right there. Money.
This kid is eating. This kid looks really good tonight. Sophomore kid, just really doing it from all angles, all positions. And, this is some of the game. Sometime the guard passes. Coach tells him, hey, Silo, you coming off the bench. I'm not sure the issue he had. This guy's really got it going. But that's the kind of the dilemma sometimes when you get in a little trouble. Sometimes someone slides into your spot, and I can see Tolfree kind of getting going tonight.
And it's a good time. Rose with the steal. Here comes Rose.
Nice bounce pass.
Grayson in trouble. And it looks like we got to twist the ankle. Hate to see that, but I think. And it looks like he has his ankle already. Or it might be his other ankle.
No, it's his left ankle.
Radfletch went down. He's the 6'6".
He's going to need to come out.
Junior. He's trying to walk
Trying
it
to
off.
tough it out. Maybe it is. No, it's his left ankle. The right is wrapped up, and he hurt his left a little bit. Be interested to see how he's effective for the rest of the game. He's looking for a sub.
Grayson knocks down the first free throw. He's trying to put some pressure on it, walk it off a little bit. But back to the point what you said about Tolfree, thinking about 6 to 8 points of just flashing to the open spot. Playing without the ball is also a Rip Helmington type of player that plays without the ball. You can get 6 to 8 points easily, and that's tonight. Tolfree is showing that he can play off the ball, flash in the middle of that zone, or flash in the middle and get a great jump shot, which he has a good mid-range.
He's really got a great mid-range, and that's something that you don't see very often. I can tell you that he has the best mid-range for anyone playing in this game. But, again, being a real fan of the game, being a real student of the game, and some things that you see when you see a kid. He looks well taught. Looks like he's been taught by somebody. He's got a lot of good stuff in his game. Again, scoring from every level, got a nice touch, shooting free throws. He's got good energy. Again, early he came out just really enthusiastic. He really got his team fired up. And, again, I don't want to say something that's underrated, but momentum is a big thing in basketball.
Yeah.
And he got the team off to a good start with 2 of their guys coming off the bench, got the team off to a good start. And he really hasn't slowed down. Again, for the beginning of the second half, he wasn't getting many touches. And they started to get him some touches, and they've expanded the lead.
And so 5:41, 64-54. Wisconsin Central was able to extend that lead to 10. Let's see if this young Wisco team can make a move and see what they got left. Now we have another freshman, number 13, in the game too, Landon Key, along with Prentice Young, who's playing the point guard position. You're playing Tyrese off the ball. That's a set play from called out of that timeout. Great move, great call by Coach Walls to get his #1 offensive player involved.
He's getting to a strong hand, getting to the middle, and getting some nice, easy lays in the middle. Jelly.
Rose.
The kids love the jelly.
Nice move right there by Rhodes. So it'll be a bonus situation going forward for the Bulldogs. And the next foul for Wisconsin Lutheran, also, both teams will be in the bonus. So Rhodes' first shot, that's good. Extending lead 65-56.
Young boy favors Victor Oladipo a little bit.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? In the face, definitely.
Victor Oladipo, I believe he's set to come back here in the next couple of weeks, too. Pacers will be excited to see him back.
And just for some Bucks talk, there's a lot of talk. Bucks can win 70 games. Doesn't matter. Man, they won 60 last year. For me, it's what happens in the playoffs now. We had the best record last year. Now it's about what happens in the playoffs.
I mean, you look at a team like Golden State Warriors. They were 73-9 that year. They beat the Bulls record, and they were unable to complete the final task of winning a championship. They were beat by my guy, LBJ, 23. So I think a lot of these teams have learned not to so much focus on that record. Obviously, now you had 2 teams beat it. I think a lot of people never thought that I call him Big Mike. Big Mike's record would be beat with those 72 wins. So now it's been beat by Golden State, and they didn't get to that final crown. So as a team, as coaches, as players, I hope that's not something that the Bucks are focusing on, and I don't believe so. I think Coach Budenhauser, I think he's a 2-time Coach of the Year, so I know that he's a veteran and not really worried about that. I know Giannis isn't playing tonight with a short shoulder against Washington, so you just don't want to blow your load early.
Right, and I also think, unless they got a chance to win 75, 74.
It's got to be 74 to be special. You can't tie Golden State. That doesn't mean anything.
Or you can't, even 70 is not even good.
No.
You have to be able to go, break the record. Otherwise, like you said, rest the players that need rest, because with the Bucks now, we're at the point where it's about the playoffs. Regular season, okay, we can win 50-something, 60 games. But it's great to have home court for the Bucks. That's a huge plus for them. But after that, if you got that, you just play for your health.
What did we win? We lost in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
Yep.
So we
up
lost
2 games.
Yeah,
up 2 games.
Lost 4 straight. So obviously the goal for the Bucks would be to be better than last year, and the only way to be better than last year is to make the finals. So again, I think their goals, obviously each team, and especially a championship team like the Bucks.
Tough pass by Grayson. A little bit too much mustard on it. I think you might have been surprised how wide open Shiloh was.
I'll tell you what, Shiloh's going to end up getting a tech. He keeps firing that ball at the ref like that.
Frustration right there, but you got to know you're up 10, 68, 58, 4:25 to go here in the second half. Tyrese with a deep 3, no good. Just not finding the mark from a distance today. Prentice thought about the 3, gets a 2-point shot. That falls, nice floater. You can tell this kid's he's gonna be tough.
He's got some nice tools in his tool bag early.
Not to force the 3 right there with 4 minutes left. That's a heady play for a freshman.
A nice fundamentally sound pump fake, 1 dribble pull up.
So this is a bonus. So Rhodes to go to the line to shoot 1-on-1 situation. This may be Bucks up 42-28. I think Giannis is out tonight too, so
Giannis is out with a sore shoulder. The Bucks are 3-0 without Giannis this year, so I just think we really the Coach Budenholzer really does a great job in the regular season, and the Bucks really just have a great system where we have a next man up mentality and a really good team and a deep team. So the Bucks play well, especially against the lower tier teams without Giannis. So I expect the same winning mentality as they've had all year.
You obviously watch a lot of NBA, but you watch a lot of Bucks game. We give a lot of praise to coaches like Mike D'Antoni in Houston for his system. Yet he's never been to a finals, either the Western Conference. Well, he's always been in the Western Conference. But you think about a guy like Mark Budenholzer. He took it, and the teams that Mike D'Antoni had, he had some top 5 players, 2-time MVP Steve Nash.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Budenholzer, his system, and the players he had, especially with Atlanta, 5 All-Stars, 4 All-Stars, none of them superstars.
Yeah, I mean,
and they won 50, and they were winning the East.
Well, I think that's key when you don't have any superstars on your team. I think it's not easy to win in the regular season, but when you got a great team and a great system and a team that plays for one another, I think the regular season, you're built for the regular season. Guys are making the extra pass. There are no superstars. There are not many egos, and you just got a great system that you can depend on. And obviously, I think that system isn't so effective in the playoffs, and it showed for Mike Budenholzer and those Atlanta teams, the Kyle Korvers.
But also, I think they didn't have that superstar. But
definitely missed a superstar.
Like when you think about Mike D'Antoni, he's had superstars from Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, now to James Harden, to Chris Paul, and now Russell Westbrook. So my thing is, I'm more so to lean towards Budenholzer because last year was his first superstar in Giannis, and Giannis was learning how to be a superstar.
Right,
so
right.
I think, and now they win games like you said. I wonder what their record is without Giannis. Rhodes goes up for the layup. He gets that to drop. That makes it 70-60. Budenholzer system seems like he could take anybody and make that. It is more, but yet we don't celebrate like we celebrate a tough pass right there. Oh, and he failed. Tough pass. We celebrate Mike D'Antoni's system when you think about when he has superstars and he's not yet been to a finals.
I think that, again, speaking of Kobe earlier, those guys ran into Kobe Bryant. Those guys ran into Shaquille O'Neal. So they really had – the Suns that really had some great teams, Amari Stoudemire and Steve Nash being a 2-time MVP during that time. But, again, you look at the West, there was a San Antonio dynasty. Yeah. There was a Laker dynasty. And then, again, D'Antoni had 2 great superstars, but didn't have a great and deep a team as Mike Budenholzer has had. So, and again, I think that the East is known to be a little weaker than the West, and those guys played in the West when the West was really strong. When you had some all-time greats, Shaquille O'Neal, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant. I mean, you had a lot of guys that were just pretty much unstoppable. Again, all-time greats.
There's all-time pressures being turned up right now by Wisconsin Lutheran. 3-pointer by Jordan Glenn. He knocks down the 3.
We got ourselves a 5-point game with 2 minutes left.
On the floor, as my partner just said, 5-point game, 70-65, 2:19, full timeout. So we'll take a break. You're watching and listening and locked into the Athlete Streaming Network.
Hanson Brothers Auto has been serving the community close to 20 years in business, and its sales team has a combined 200 years of knowledge throughout the dealership to help put you in the right car. Hanson Brothers Auto is family owned and well respected around the greater Milwaukee area. Hanson Brothers Auto offers a service department also, so stop in and let Hanson Brothers put you in the car you deserve.
And welcome back to the Athlete Streaming Network here at West Allis Central, where we're in the second half as the Bulldogs hold a 70-65 lead. Craig Hart alongside my partner, Joe Tucker, right now. Wisconsin Lutheran was down 10, less than 30 seconds. Got a steal, got a 3-pointer, got a layup, down 5. What do you think Coach Walls from Wisconsin is telling his team right now with 2 minutes and 19 seconds left?
I mean, keep that intensity up on the defensive end. They've turned this pressure up. Turn this press up and got some good results out of this. So just want to play smart, don't give up any easy fouls, and pressure this team. And get into that trap that they're getting into. It's yielded some good results for them.
Almost a turnover right there. Grayson. Back to Dede. Dede rolls. Good pass to Dede. Dede goes up. Well executed play right there.
And that's just what West Allis Central is looking for. Good ball movement as they've been doing all game, and a nice, easy lay.
A steal, almost attempt by Rhodes. Almost got the steal.
And again, for West Allis Central, you just want to stay solid here. Maybe not going for steals. You just want to stay solid on defense and make the team beat you at this point.
Ball saved. It will go to Central. 133, 72-65 foul. Looks like Shiloh Bowl will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. So still shooting a 1-and-1 right now.
Still 93 seconds left. Nothing to celebrate yet. A lot of game left.
And we just seen within a 25 seconds span, Wisconsin cut a 10-point lead to 5. Shiloh first free throw shot is up. Dances in, that goes down, makes it 73-65. So referees just want to make sure it doesn't get too physical.
Just straighten out a little static, little aggression by the young man.
Free throws up, that is good. Rhodes is going to come out the game. Got a timeout on the floor by the Bulldogs. That makes it full timeout. So we'll stay here and talk a little basketball. And so season's coming down. Like we talked earlier, it's playoff time almost for some of these teams. They're in playoff mode because about 2 weeks we'll have some big games coming up. One of the big games we talked about offline was Milwaukee Bayview. If they continue winning in their city conference, they'll take on Milwaukee King, and that can pretty much determine who wins the city conference. Milwaukee King has been, I want to say, a surprise team this year, but they've been a team that this is what everybody's been expecting the last 3 years. These guys have been playing varsity since they were freshmen, 4 of them. You got some juniors now and the sophomores. This team is prime, but the only thing about it, when you look at Milwaukee King, they're in the same region or sectional as Sussex Hamilton, Brookfield Central. So 3 great teams. One of these teams won't make it to state.
Absolutely. I mean, looking on down the line, and obviously as a team you can't do it. As commentators we can. There's some monsters waiting on you.
Yeah.
And you know at some point you're going to run into them. If they continue to win and you continue to win, you're going to have to see them. So, again, I mean, it's kind of a coach's dream. That's what you prepare for the entire year. For that big matchup, every game you're intending to, you want to get better, you want to build, you want to keep getting better. So when you get to those guys, you're ready to play and you have an opportunity, give yourself an opportunity to win.
And I talked to Coach Walls of Wisconsin, and we talked about where that sectional final game. So if it may look like it's going to be Sussex Hamilton for Division I. 3-point shot, no good. Taking on Brookfield Central or Milwaukee King. That game should be an upstate game. It should not be a sectional Milwaukee game. Shiloh goes in for the 2-hand slam. He gets that to drop. 76-65. That might have been an explanation point right there. Tough move by number 2. That's no good.
Craig, as a high schooler, my game didn't start going until I got a dunk. It wasn't fun until I got a dunk. I promised everybody in the crowd we getting dunks tonight. We celebrating. So the game wasn't fun until then.
Bowles, it looks like Central want to run some clock.
Smart decision to bring it back out.
Good passing right there. I mean, since you pointed that out, this team passes the ball very well. They play for each other. You can tell a team that passed the ball well, they play for each other.
Absolutely, and it's shown on the scoreboard. Up 11. If this young man makes 2 free throws, they'll be up 13. So showing on the scoreboard, and again, just really impressed with the way they play as a team.
First free throw, good, 77-65. It's crazy how the game could just switch where literally about 2 minutes ago it was a 5-point game. That's booming up to 12 right now, 40 seconds left. Looks like Allis Central is going to revenge a loss they had earlier the season, December 17th. 3-point shot, though, by Glenn.
West Allis Central really got to take care of the ball here. Ooh.
You got to go for the steal. If you don't get the steal, you have the foul. So 24 seconds remaining, 77. So Day-Day, just going to call him Day-Day, He's going to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Mama call him Day Day. I'm going to call him Day Day.
Exactly. As a commentator, I just want to call him by the name that's correctly written down on the nice piece of paper that we have. But the PA announcer called him Day Day and didn't call him Jackson. His last name is Jackson. Deshaun Jackson. As he knocked down both free throws, 79-68, 20 seconds to go here.
Craig, when I meet a young man, if I'm talking to him on his level, I ask him, what do your friends call you? Tell me what your friends call you.
Right.
If they don't call you a government, I don't want to call you a government either.
Exactly. He don't want people out here blowing his spot up like, I know that was your real name, Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
Right. No, I go by Daniel. Okay. So 15 seconds left remaining here at the Athlete Streaming Network. Our first stream game here at West Allis Central. This is usually the home of a lot of sectional games. And our girl, Joy, is going to catch up with our player of the game as he goes. Is that on? So West Allis Central gets the 79-68 win over Wisco.
Appreciate your continued support.
We'll have our player of the game, which is going to be Joshi Tofree. Finished the game with 22 points and was a monster. So Joe Tucker will catch up with Joe Toki. So what you guys got for me?
A player of the game, man. You just played a heck of a game there. Out there, man, to me, you seem like you made it look easy, man. You got a nice touch from the perimeter. You kind of got a lot just kind of all over the floor. Tell me what you saw out there tonight.
My teammates, shout out to my teammates, they were able to create for me. We all came out moving the ball, and it was a great team win. Honestly, we needed this.
Gotcha. So tell me, is this something that you guys work on? Something we noticed from the commentator booth was the team's ball movement. You guys really played an unselfish brand of basketball, and it really showed on the scoreboard. I think it was one of the keys to your victory.
We really got back in it. Like, it was a great team win. Like you said, the ball movement was very important because previous game we kind of got a little selfish, but now that we back on track, we trust each other, and that's what it's all about.
I mean, great team win for you guys. Obviously, a great team win for your conference. Good luck with the rest of the year. Great game tonight, man. Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Back to you, Craig.
All right, thank you so much, Joey. So West Allis Central gets the 79-65 win for the Athlete Live. We want to thank everybody out there for listening and locking in to us. Our next telecast will be next week, where we'll probably be somewhere here in the state of Wisconsin bringing you high school basketball for Craig Hart, Joe Tucker, and the man with the camera, my man, Sean Steerbridge. Turn up. Make sure next week you're watching and locked in to the Athlete Streaming Network.
Athletic, I'm jumping for my dreams. I'm super magnetic, bring the championship to me. Super with exclusives, hit the link and you can see what it takes to be a top athlete. Coast to coast we going, so to come up you can see. From the court to the field to the track we can meet. Everything exclusive, straight behind the scenes. This the athlete. Athletic, I'm jumping for my dreams. Athletic, I'm jumping for my dreams. Now let's talk about the athlete. The path is like a track meet. Distractions in the crowd, you gotta master that within thee. Passion in the how, you put it down, then we'll see the difference between the others and the athlete. You must subscribe to Focus, click the link and notice. All the Flyers culture, all the sports you know it. We always thinking forward to the biggest moment. Welcome to the show is the athlete. I'm jumping for my dreams, Athletic, I'm jumping for my dreams, Athletic, I'm jumping for my dreams, Athletic, I'm jumping for my dreams, the athlete.